Hello, boys and girls. Mr. Palst here. So nice to see you. Um, in my classroom, I got some friends that are ready to hear the story with us. We got um, Grizz and Panda going to share it. Pretty excited. We got April and Esme, Tooth Fairies by Bob Graham. We've shared his stories before. They're really good. So I'm excited to see what this one has to offer. April and Esme, Tooth Fairies. April Underhill opened the door. A draft slipped through behind her and Esme, making the teeth hanging from the rafters chatter and chime. John Underhill started to speak. April? Don't say anything, Daddy, April said. We're collecting a boy's tooth tonight, and I have to write this down. Daniel Dangerfield, 3 Cornflower Terrace. Parkville, Milktooth, front. Dog no cat tonight. Tonight, April, you're only 7, said her dad. And 3/4, April added. I promise. I'm going to, said Esme. You and Esme, a tooth in Parkville? Said their mom, Faye. Darling, you're far too young. You went by yourself when you were 6, Mommy, said Esme. She balanced a bubble on the end of her finger till it popped. Same age as me, and April's even older. Well, that was long ago, said Mom, before the highway came. Foxes still chased hares on the hill, and things were different back then. Well, some things haven't changed, Mommy. Esme took a sip of her dandelion soup. Children still lose their first teeth, April said, and ducklings still have to take their first swim. Their parents looked at them, startled. Okay, said Dad. You can both go, but take great care of your little sister, April. Yes, this is important, April, said Dad. To Daniel, you are a spirit of the air. You are magic. He must never see you. Magic? Me? Said April. Mom found a string bag for the coin going out and the tooth coming back, she said. Send me a text if you need to, she added. Then they lifted off into the night, the North M42, and shook them, pushed them, and pulled them. The wind took them. It shivered down Esme's wings and rippled through the feathers of a passing owl. There's Cornflower Terrace, shouted April. They dropped through the dark. Right onto the doorstep of Daniel's house. They peered underneath. April swallowed. Hold down my wings, Esme. I'll go first. Esme crawled in after her. To the other side. Where is his room? She whispered. Up there, I think, replied April. Let's follow the toys. This must be him, whispered April. She pulled a note from her pocket. We're at 3 Cornflower Terrace, she said. There's a dog, but no cat. And there's a tooth, cried Esme, shivering with excitement. But oh dear, he put it in water, said April. She made a decision. I can swim. I'll get it. She squeezed her eyes shut, and a cloud of bubbles went for the bottom. I've got it, Esme. I've got it. Shh, hissed Esme. as Daniel Dangerfield stirred and woke up. No, look at the tooth fairy. April flew and Esme followed her. Together they pulled Daniel's eyes shut like blinds over windows for a long time. They didn't dare to breathe. He slept again. April whispered, "But he saw us," Esme whispered back. "I'll text Mommy," said April. Whispered what? Esme asked as they replied. "What Daddy told us, that we're spirits." "You do it, April," said Esme. "Me? I'm soaked." But she leaned into the dark and whispered, "We're spirits of the air, Daniel. You dreamed us. You didn't see us." "Goodbye, Daniel Dangerfield." They picked up the tooth and flew down the hall. "April, wait!" cried Esme. "It's the sweetest sight. I think it's the grandma." April wadded waist deep in Grandma's hair, then kissed her on the nose. "We did it, Grandma! Our very first tooth," she whispered. "No, Esme, we don't take those. We have to go." No, we're not taking Grandma's teeth. They collected their coats, buttoned them tight, and slipped under the door. Daniel's front tooth swung in its bag as they cleared the chimney and headed for home. The wind tumbled them high over the city, up the highway, and set them down at their own front door. Mom and Dad hugged them till their wings crackled. "Here's a tooth, Daddy, wrapped in my wet undershirt. You dive for it, Asfay." "Like a duckling in the water," murmured John Underhill proudly. The girls drank hot elderberry juice and then were hugged some more. Mom hung Daniel's tooth from the rafters. "On Saturday, we'll take it to the fairy craft market for everyone to see," Dad promised. The sun rose and a blackbird sang outside the window, louder than the distant traffic, as April and Esme fell asleep. Daniel Dangerfield woke up to find the coin gleaming by his bedside. A new tooth was already coming in. What dreams he's had, I'm sure. Out on the highway, a wild hare scampered across 6 lanes of traffic, past an old stump, a tiny house, and up to its time-worn tracks on the hill. Nose twitching, it looked over its shoulder for foxes, then far out to the horizon. Pretty cool story about tooth fairies. I enjoyed it. Hope you did too. It's another Bob Grant story we've read. We've revisited before Let's Get a Pup, which is classic. I hope you like the one with the tooth fairies. April and Esme, tooth fairies. I enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon, boys and girls.